Hi, welcome to GB Reactions. Hope you're all having a good weekend, and thank you again for subscribing. So I'm going to continue with some Genesis Live. Now, originally I was going to be continuing with this track on the Jute tour from the Lyceum Ballroom, but the quality wasn't great, so I'm going to switch this to an earlier concert with the same track from 1976, and I believe it was from the Trick of a Tale. From the Trick of a Tale tour. I think that's what the tour was called. And interesting enough, this earlier track features, I think it's Bill Bruford on drums, and also Steve Hackett, who I'm familiar with. And it's the Carpet Crawlers, and it's taken from an earlier album, which is the Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. So without further ado, this is the Carpet Crawlers. Live Genesis 1976.
Inside our people, they've more lifeblood than before. They're moving in time to a heavy wooden door, where the needle's eye is winking, closing on the floor. Carpet crawlers heed their corners. We gotta get in. That I see, and it's upward to that ceiling where the chamber's set to be. Like a forest fight for sunlight that takes root in every tree. They are pulled up by the magnet, believing they're free. Carpet crawlers eat their crawlers.
Just gonna pause it there now. No, Mike Rutherford, and doesn't like he looks so young in this video, and also kind of Phil Collins looks a lot different to what he normally looks. And I am also aware that the original was sang by Peter Gabriel, but I think Peter Gabriel left possibly in 1974 or 75. I'm not entirely sure of the date, so that would stand to reason that Phil Collins is now the lead vocalist, as well as still the drummer. This is like really, really interesting. I kind of vaguely remember this song because my brother used to play this a lot. I keep mentioning that. He was a big fan of Seconds Out, and I'm not sure if this was all part of the same tour, but it's just kind of fascinating to be watching on a stage as well. I haven't seen Steve Hackett yet. I'm sure he's there somewhere. This is a really interesting song. I'm kind of curious about the lyrics. I started listening to this and I was thinking these lyrics are possibly about little animals or some kind, because Genesis do tend to go on this kind of fancy of this fantasy, but they kind of build these fantasy worlds, but then another thought occurred to me, and I don't know, and I'm going to hold my hands up. I will Google this straight after, so I can have some idea. But another thought's occurred to me, and it's a little more. It's a little more to do with. It's a little more to do with men and women. So yeah, I'm going to leave you with that thought and carry on. Okay, so that was Genesis with the Carpet Crawlers. Never quite sure which title is which. And that was from 1976. I did actually spot Steve Hackett at the end. He didn't have... I think he was... The sound that he creates is quite kind of unique. And I know later Genesis, without that sound, it's completely kind of different feel to the band. I've liked Genesis tracks from, I suppose, all across the history of them. I'm not really a kind of a Peter Gabriel or Phil Collins necessarily that one of them has to be the person, because I think they bring their own sort of thing to these tracks. But this was such a gentle track, and this is the first time I've ever seen it performed by them. I've heard this track maybe once or twice when my brothers played it, as I keep saying, and I loved the keyboards on this because it was just like a soft, gentle tinkling of... It's almost kind of like mimicking the movement of whatever's going on in the world of a worldly process or worldly process of a kind of lyrics. And it kind of felt very slow movement towards something. And that was kind of like very, very effective. And Steve Hackett's atmospheric guitar, again, complementing the keyboards as well, almost kind of driving the song towards a point in time. And the quality of his video as well it's kind of amazing, really, when I think that it's 1976, and I don't think Genesis were kind of really commercially. They weren't kind of popular with the general public until sort of maybe 78 onwards, when they had Follow You, Follow Me. So I think that, possibly not so many videos were being produced from their live performances before 78, 79, or maybe 1980. So maybe the Duke tour was probably the first kind of really commercially filmed concert. Anyway, I love the song, and first of all, I know that the Carpet Crawl is from the Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, which is a concept album, and after I kind of reacted to Lily White Lilith, I kind of did a bit of reading up about the story behind the concept album, and I believe it's to do with the character in the album is called Raul, and he's a Puerto Rican gang member who gets hit by a truck, I think, on Broadway in New York, and this is his kind of journey through, not necessarily afterlife, maybe he's unconscious, I'm not really kind of sure, but this is his journey towards something. So perhaps this is his journey towards the afterlife, and the choices that he still has in his kind of subconsciousness to make before he actually goes into heaven or hell, I'm guessing. And it kind of feels like this is another one of those. I think in Lily White Lilith he meets a blind woman along the way, and then there's a chamber of 32 doors or something, and he, before he gets to the chamber of 32 doors, he meets this blind woman who he helps instead, and that takes him into a different place. And I think the Carpet Crawlers are all to do with that same place in time and space. I'm not sure if I've got this story completely right. So it's, again, I think with The Lamb Lies Down, it's an album that I will kind of maybe sort of listen to and talk about each track as it goes. But as far as the Carpet Crawlers go, I also kind of felt halfway through and that this song may be about something other than the journey of his character in the concept album, and that might be something to do with conceiving a child. There's little clues in what he was singing about that. I kind of felt that this might be taking us into two separate kind of routes, working on two different levels. So kind of just bear with me. I'm just going to take a few minutes just to kind of, I don't want to say anything about this song that's going to bring it into disrepute. So I'm just going to have a read through the lyrics and see if what I'm reading makes any sense with what I'm thinking. The crawlers cover the floor in red ochre corridor. For my second sight of people, then more lifeblood than before. They're moving in time to a heavy wooden door. So my second sight of people, is this that he's having sex for only the second time ever? I think that might be what it's referring to. They're moving in time to a heavy wooden door. Okay, I'm probably not going to be kind of giving you any. I feel a bit awkward and a bit embarrassed about saying the words that I think each line kind of refers to. So I might just emphasise the word in the line and leave it up to you to kind of fill in the gaps. They're moving in time to a heavy wooden door. where the needle's eye is winking, closing on the poor. The carpet crawlers heed their corners. We've got to get in to get out. So that really is sort of like, so maybe that is, you've got to get in and then the baby comes out. Okay. There's only one direction in the faces that I see. It's an upward to the ceiling where the chamber's said to be. Like the fight for sunlight that takes root in every tree. They're pulled up by the magnet, believing they are free. Again, repeat, carpet crawlers heed their callers. We've got to get in to get out. Through the door, a harvest feast is lit by candlelight. It's the bottom of a staircase that spirals out of sight. The carpet crawlers heed their callers. The porcelain mannequin with shattered skin fears attack, and the eager pack lift up their pitchers. They carry all they lack. The liquid has congealed, which has seeped out through a crack, and the tickler takes his stickle back. Yeah, you know what? I'm actually kind of thinking that there is the conception side to this. It's a man and a woman, and we're talking about all the different processes that conception takes on, and it kind of evolves into a child, perhaps. That's really interesting. When I heard this as a kid, I think I was forced to sit and listen to it once as a kid. I would have probably been about 11 or 12, and I actually thought it was about bed bugs, and I've always thought it was about carpet bugs and stuff like that. And now I know a little bit of a backstory from the album. I kind of know that there is a story to this, but also now listening to it now, I see there's another level to a story that could possibly be applied to this song, and so I like the fact that it's not too abstract that I have to kind of maybe read too much into the lyrics to see a possible double meaning to them. I really enjoyed this Genesis track. It was very kind of mellow and laid back, and the melodies as well were lovely to listen to. It was a great ensemble of musicians and melodies together. I'm kind of looking forward to kind of moving on to the next track, and hopefully, touch wood, that will be from the Duke tour this time. But I hope you guys enjoyed this track. I've never seen this track performed live, and so it was a first for me, and I'm kind of really looking forward to delving more into perhaps older Genesis at some point, and particularly this album, The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. But yeah, till next time, let me know what you think. Join me in the comments below, and I hope to speak to you all soon. Take care. Have a great weekend.